Hello, my name is Michał, and today I want to share you details about AI agents I'm working on that will help you to build full-stack Fiori application. On the backend part, SAP CAP Node.js, on the frontend part, Fiori Elements applications. I think AI models should develop Fiori Elements application with ease, mostly because we need to follow the guidelines prepared by SAP. So there's no much variation how the application should look like, what we should implement, and why. All of that have been specified in the guidelines, and we only need to follow that. So the same need to be done by AI. Today I want to go you through the whole process. So starting from preparing prompt, setting up the plan, and implementing backend, frontend, step by step. This is the post from the LinkedIn when I share you the details, what I'm working on. And truly at the beginning it was super hard because AI models without any additional inputs generate something basic or something that is not really working well. For example, the search helps were missing, the labels were not correct, the apps looks really basic. Yeah, so this is basically if you use generator and you select option to generate basic annotations, you will receive something similar. So there is not much. So I started to create the agent. I want to do it in the 5 steps. So first step will be to have idea and prepare the prompt. So we need to know what we want to achieve. The second step will be to use plan mode in the Claude to generate master plan, just to plan each steps we need to provide. And for that, I have one of the agent that will help you with scaffolding to implement step by step. The third step, and basically it will be planned by IE, so we can move it like that. I would see the third step, so first step in development to use to generate the appropriate schema and expose services with some test data. And the next step will be to decide how many Fiori applications we need to have and in which floor plan it should be generated. I should to generate them. And the last is just to missing annotations, just to be sure that we have the search hubs, labels, translations if needed. So as for now, I deployed the AI agents in the GitHub repository, and this is the repository. Soon I will update the README file, so not worry. But in this video, I will explain all the details. So currently I have 5 separate agents. So thanks to that, you can use them separately, or you can use all of them in the full stack orchestrator. So we have like SAP CAP developer, which is designed and prepared for the CAP development only. So to prepare well schema and expose it as a services. The second one is the SAP Fiori designer. So he will let you help decide which floor plans to choose for your Fiori applications and how many of them should be there. The third one is Fiori Elements developer. So it's used in the last step for polish, so to adding all of annotations and to make applications beauty. Fourth agent is the SAP Fiori scaffold, and you have to use it to generate Fiori Elements applications, mostly because AI without any guidelines will generate the files from scratch and it will be outdated. They're using old statements and old customization. So the generator is the best way to generate applications, and we want AI to follow that. And the last one is the full stack orchestrator. So we will use that to have a complete application from one prompt. Of course, the AI will generate the complete plan, but this is completely fine. Maybe AI will also ask us questions that we will need to provide additionally. But yeah, let's see. You see, those are the markdown files. So you can jump into any of that and you can just read the details. There is any formatting or using MCP. This is just plain text, what could be used in the human language. Yeah, this is the simplest approach to build the agent. Just create the markdown file and describe what we want, how he should proceed with the steps he needs. Yeah, the only problem could be how the AI agent have to figure out when to use which action. But if you want to use it in your project, what you have to do is just to download the zip. You can of course use Git for that, just to clone the repository and so on, but this is the simplest approach. Extract and put it to your project folder. And now we can jump out to Visual Studio Code. So I created the folder, new project SAP AI 01 for testing, and I have folder .ai, and I just put all of the files there. I want to use the full stack orchestrator that will help us to go step by step. So for that, I will be using Claude plugin. You can use Claude in Visual Studio Code as a plugin, so you have a bit better interface. But you can also call it from terminal, just using Claude command. After installation, of course, you can start using it. So the most important information we are using. So I have Haiku 4.5, which is really good for developing, for working. But for our case, I want to choose different model. So the Opus 4.5 is the most advanced, but also consume the most money. We have also the Sonnet 4.0, which is something between. And the last one is the Haiku 4.5, which is fastest, cheaper, but not doing as good as Opus or the Sonnet one. So in our case, let's choose the Sonnet 4.5. It should be completely fine for that. We can choose extending thinking for that. Okay, so let's start coding the application. I have a prompt prepared, which is develop SAP CAP application for managing customer feedback and complaints. The application should allow customer to submit feedback, enable support staff to categorize, assign, and resolve issues, and provide reporting on trends and recurring problems. Ensure a clean data model, CRUD services, and REST or data endpoints for integration. And what we can do, we can also mark that we want to use SAP Full Stack Orchestrator. I guess it should figure it out without it, but yeah, I don't want to repeat it. So let's go that way. We see we have our guide for building a complete SAP CAP customer feedback and complaints management applications. So first is requirement gathering. So the Claude is asking the questions about what we should provide. So user roles and permission. Based on the description, I see at least these roles. So we have customer, support staff, and manager supervisor. Are the roles? Maybe we can say yes. Admin, for example. And now it's okay. Let's keep it as it is. Feedback complaint lifecycle. What status workload do you envision? Example, new, assign, in progress, resolve, closed, be able to read. That's okay. The third point is categorization and assignment. What category should be available? Okay, pause. Okay, customer info. Do you have an existing customer master data system to integrate with? It's really nice question. So he already thinking about if we want to integrate that with SAP. So maybe I guess in the future, this is the point when we want to extend these agents or add additional agent to help us integrate with SAP. This will be nice, but as for now, it will be standalone. To be standalone, or should this map name? Yeah, okay. So let's answer yes. It should manage customer data. Customers should have all BTP. Okay. Reporting analytics, but multi-language, multi-tenant. Do you need multi-language support for internal customers? Let's use only English. Is it single component? Yes, it's single component. So we see he asked really well questions. First, he asked about the master data integration, so which is really good. But then we have questions related to BTP and CAP implementation, multi-language, multi-tenancy. It's really important, but as for now, let's keep it simple as possible. You mentioned REST of data endpoints. What system need to integrate? Excel. Keep this for now. We just want to services, so this is okay. Plan mode. I should turn on plan mode at the beginning, but it's okay. He started making plans. So it's okay. Thank you for your clarification. Now let me explore the current database, code base. Okay, so now he is checking the file structure, but it's completely empty. So he will scan if we have already some development there. It's empty, so he can start from scratch. Okay, we see what he's reading about. So perfect, we received some message from the Claude. We've completed a through exploration and design phase. Let me write a final implementation plan to the plan file. So Claude will create a temporary file. It's quite an important one. Jolly bubbling plan for SAP CAP, customer feedback and complaints management system. So the plan looks quite solid. I like it. I think there is too many services and applications, but yeah, let's do it. Yeah, so 5 very application, I think is a bit too much. Oh, there is a 12 step that he didn't describe, but there is production deployment. Okay, let's see. So I'm not yet prepared the AI agents for production deployment. It's still, as you see, at the beginning. So the Claude will ask us to, if we can run some commands. You can approve each step. Basically, in the production scenarios, we should review all of the changes and do not agree on such actions. But I did it many times, and the Claude is handling the bash commands really well. I don't have plugin installed on this machine, sorry guys. I hope it will be readable. So we have the customers entity complaints. There he already prepared some virtual fields with relationships. Okay, it looks quite solid. There's a lot of entities, so it looks pretty mature. I like it. Claude is generating the flat files for the data. CDS watch. Okay, yes. So now the Claude wants to test the application, so let's allow him to do it. For example, you can see that during the development process. So for example, the Claude now started the application in the development mode, and he can check out that in the terminal he received some messages, error messages, that it's not correctly created. So now he automatically fixing that for us. This is really nice feature of Claude, so it works like in the loop. So he testing, we can ask him for even doing a better test, but this is like standard testing for them. Perfect, your SAP customer Fiori management backend is now complete and running successfully. Here's the summary. So what have been implemented: CAP project, 11 entities, seed data, mocked authentication. We have services ready to use, and he give us information how to test. Okay, so the next step is your backend is fully functional. To continue with the complete application, you can now generate Fiori applications. Next, add UI annotations and integration testing. Would you like me to proceed with generating the Fiori application, or would you like to test the app APIs first? And we will test it. So let's switch to the browser. So what I will do, so let me run the terminal and let's start the application by our own to see if it's working correctly. Okay, the home page for our services. There is no applications, web applications yet, but we have a lot of endpoints. We have the data loaded from our CDS files. So this looks really good. So we have also customers, categories, product wrong. Okay, service delay, statuses, new, acknowledge, assign, in progress, waiting, customer, resolved, closed, reopen. Okay, status transition. This is interesting. So we're using some IDs from status ID to status ID. I'm really interested if the validation have been implemented. Support staff, customer support, technical support. Okay, status history, no history. Okay, so we have some error message when opening the customer entities. Complaints, the same categories. It's working fine. So in the customer entity, he's looking for BTP user ID. To fix the error message, I put the URL on which I have the issue, and I just copy paste the response that I see in the browser. So the Claude make thinking, he found that BTP user is excluded from the customer service projection, but the authorization rules needed. So he just read his entry, and after the changes, it's working. And I can show you once again, it's working. So now we can see the customers and we can see complaints. What is strange, as an admin, I see complaints. Okay, I think I need to be customer to see that. Let's see. This is the part of which I struggling a lot, because in loop the AI will try to generate applications. If it will fail, he will just make, okay, I will make just the files from scratch. Oh, you see, this is installed. I will create the Fiori elements manually with the proper structure. No, I don't want it. So I don't have Fiori generator, so this is why he tried to go from scratch, but I don't want. Stop, please use generate. Got it, let me install and use official SAP Fiori generator instead. So you see, even if I have some exactly what we have to do, he's doing something different. Please follow guide in folder and use. Okay, now it looks fine. So he's installing the SAP Writer. So I hope after that we will have a working Fiori application. But it seems I need to point agents when they are needed. It seems I need to point exactly which agents should be used in the step. So the master plan generated, but Claude is not really perfect one. Completed Fiori application generated. Let's see, I'm super happy. I'm super excited to check that. The generated apps include basic annotation for each UI interface app. Okay, so he said, okay, this is basic application. Just check if it's working, and we will generate additional annotations soon. So as you see, we have 4 apps. Let's check the admin then. Okay, it's loading. There is some issue there, so we can solve it quite easy. Copy this and paste it to the Claude. We can also copy some error message. So I just took error message from the Fiori application, I put a XML, and also I copied and pasted. I put it in the Claude, as you can see, and he's working on that. I see the issue, the generated manifest have context path undefined. So during the generations, something have not been applied. I have it second times. It happened to me second time, so I guess I need to work on some rules just to not give you the same error when you will use the agents. Okay, he fixed one application, but he needs to update the manifest JSON in the other files. So let's allow him to do it, and let's see if our application is working after changes. Okay, so as you can see, the app is working. Of course, we don't have any columns, any fields, nothing complaints, but admin are not able to see any complaints. Log as admin and can see any complaint. Can you fix action for admin? Perfect. I applied the access control to grant admin role full access. So let's see. Let's refresh this. Okay, now we can see the complaints. Nice. Okay, so the app is working. We have a backend. The application have been generated. So now it's the way to make it pretty. So let's do it. Let's go to the next phase. Please create perfect Fiori application. And what I want to do, I want to mention the Fiori Elements developer because I have a lot of rules about annotations to make a good application. So let's wait for the effects. I guess it will be nice. So basically this will be the last step. So currently we are in the last step of our 5-step framework to build applications. So we are currently generating Fiori Elements annotations, which should provide a pretty working application. Phase 8, UI annotation completed. Created annotation files for all 4 applications: customer portal, admin console, support workbench, and manager dashboard. So let's see, the application should look much better now. So we should have professional labels, value helps, text arrangements, criticality, hidden technical fields, header info, header KPI, condition actions, condition facets, multi-line text, responsive design, this is by default, field control, composition tables. Okay, so let's test it. Head to admin console, let's log in. We have search help and the labels ready. Status have fixed length of the properties to select. We have just it as a select list. The category we have a bit more, so we have dialog. Priority is short, so we have list, and the customer and assigned to its full list. We have labels correctly, we have some criticality handled, not for everything. It looks okay. Let's navigate to one. Okay, so the AI created some headers. We missing the compliance number in the header, but that's okay. Yeah, it looks pretty well for me. Still, I see some gaps. This is mostly all I wanted to show you. Still, this AI agent's doing some bugs in the code, so you need to be aware of that. It's still under the development. I'm using that as a learning, so it's not the solution you can already use on the production, but I'm sure this could kick off your project pretty fast.